In this video, I'm going to show you how to change your strings. This video is for beginning players and players that have never changed a guitar string in their lives. Having said this, I'm sure that more experienced players would benefit from some of the tips and tricks offered in this video. So grab some popcorn, dim the lights, and let's get started. To change your strings, you will need one bass guitar with dead strings, a guitar tuner, a new set of strings, an instrument cable, and a set of pliers. Optional extras include a wooden dining table and a couple of cushions to set your bass upon if you plan on making a YouTube video. When changing your strings, I recommend removing the old strings and changing them with the new ones one at a time. Taking all of the strings off at once drops the tension on the neck to zero, which may be harmful to your bass. Once you've removed the string, set the new string into the bridge. I didn't film me doing this for the B string, but you probably don't have one of those anyway. Next, we're going to measure out 5 to 10 centimeters or 2 to 3 inches of extra string past the machine heads and cut off the rest with the pliers. Do not cut without measuring first, or you may cut off too much. I know this because I've done it. Learn from my mistakes. Stick the string into the machine head, bend it so it's flat against the headstock, and set the string in the nut. Make sure that while you're tightening, the string stays locked into the bridge. For some basses, this won't be an issue, but if you have a bridge like mine, you'll need to keep an eye on it. As you tighten, help the string wind around the machine head. Take your time and make sure that the string winds underneath itself. This will result in a clean finish to the headstock. Remember, always under-tighten towards the end. Again, learn from my mistakes. We'll tune it up later. Take off the next string and rinse and repeat until all of your strings have been changed. By the way, if you have a string winder, this will make changing your strings a lot easier. If you don't own one, no problem. You can just speed it up in post. You don't have to measure using a ruler. I'm doing it purely for demonstration purposes. I don't measure at all anymore, I just do it by eye. But it's better to leave too much extra than not enough. Some players recommend 3 finger widths of extra string, which will come to roughly 1 to 2 inches. Once again, make sure the string is winding underneath itself. Once you've changed your strings, what do you do with the old strings? There are so many remedies on the internet for cleaning and reusing dead strings, like boiling them for 10 minutes and so on. In my experience, it makes little to no difference to the sound of the strings. Plus, it's a pain in the neck. Personally, I wouldn't bother with any of that. Just chuck them. You're not going to reuse them anyway. Although I would recommend wiping down your new strings with a cloth after you play to keep them bright. Do as I say and not as you're about to see me do. If your bass has machine heads on both sides of the headstock, you'll want to wind the strings on the other side of the headstock in the opposite direction. I've done this 100 times before, but for whatever reason, I wound them in the same direction as the other strings. Do not do this. It's not going to affect the sound, it's just going to look a little weird. This is how it's supposed to look. This looks good. This does not. Last but not least, the G string. From start to finish, changing a set of strings should only take you about 10 to 15 minutes. If you're filming it, you're looking at about an hour. Once again, don't do what you see me doing here. Wind the string in the opposite direction. But in the end, if you do mess up like I did, it's okay. You can fix it the next time you change your strings. No big deal. Changing your strings is really quite easy. If you follow these simple steps, you shouldn't have any problems. Okay, let's tune up. When tuning up, I recommend pinching and pulling the string up a few times as you do it. This relaxes the string as you tighten it, preventing it from breaking. You probably don't have to do this, but I always have. Guitars tend to go out of tune a lot after a string change, so you may need to retune more often. And that's it. We've changed the strings, now let's hear how it sounds. Okay, my slap technique needs work, but at least the new strings sound good. You'll want to change your strings every 3 to 4 months, depending on how much playing you'll be doing. I hope you found this demo useful, and I wish you the best of luck with your playing.